All righty, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Cool headphones, Cindy. Karen, how are you so done up in the morning? That's not even fair. Like, you're on the West Coast. That's not fair how done up you are. Oh, everyone waking up. Nicole, good to see you. Is your house clean, Nicole? No? All righty, guys. We're going to start in a few minutes. Welcome. Congrats on consistency. Like, killer start of the month. Guys, I'd like to hear from you. Like, where are we all tuning in from? Drop it in the chat and get that chat nice and open. We're going to use it today. But you guys are killing it on, like, so many levels that I can't even comprehend. Like, Carolina, I see you doing your deal over there. Like, I see, like, new clients popping in on the ticker. Well done. I'd love to hear from you guys. Like, if you have something that's a win or something that you've been implementing or staying consistent on that's making the difference, go ahead and pop off mute and, like, let's share it, and so we can hear some examples of what's making the difference to everyone as we get started today.
Hey, Brad, this is Debbie.
Oh, hold on. Okay, we got two people. Tracy, you'll be next. Debbie, go for it first.
Hi, this is Debbie. I'm outside at an Alpine, nice foggy Alpine this morning. But I wanted to share something that's going to sound really crazy. Keep in mind I was an educator for 40 years, so it's kind of cool being an educator. They tell you what to do, and then all of a sudden I'm an entrepreneur and I have no clue what I'm doing. So what happened for me this week is I listened to the Facebook video by Doug Wood, and I finally get it. Everybody keeps saying, do the work. I was doing the work. I was on Facebook, I was posting, I was liking, I was putting in all kinds of things like, oh, that's a cute dress, or that's this. But then I realized after listening to that, what he said was, that's great. That's like walking through the halls of a school. Nice haircut, great outfit. But it's not really delving in to see if people, what do they need? Do they need a hug or do they need a lifeboat? I had no clue. So he said, write down 150 names. Well, thank God I finally have more than 8 Facebook friends, so I could write down 150 names. And I just started messaging people and just saying, hey, I'm here for you. Do you need a hug or a lifeboat, basically? And I am meeting so many great people, and I feel that I'm there for them as a friend and not just somebody walking by in the hall. So I get now what that means to do the work. I finally get that. I will tell you that putting the first 150 names, I look through my Facebook friends and I look for people who really needed us for everything: healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. And it's just been a really rewarding experience. So every day I message 10 people, and it's not just like, hi, like your shirt, like this. I actually look at their page and talk about, hey, this is what I'm doing. I see you did this. I've done that. It's been really awesome. So thanks for letting me share.
Well done, Debbie. I can tell it's getting you fired up. I love that you shared that. That's incredible. And it kind of gets you excited, like, because then you're diving into connections with people, and it gets
correct.
You, like, then your fire gets even bigger. So well done. That is a great, Doug Wood's social media class that he did with Carol Hips. It's posted in the support page. If you have not seen that yet, go watch that. It'll blow your mind on connections and how to make it simple. So Debbie, thank you for sharing that.
Thanks.
All right, Tracy, you tried to hop off next. We just hit 7 o'clock, but people are still rolling in. I'll go over to you since you're probably more awake than all of us over there on the East Coast.
Okay. Well, I just want to piggyback off of what Debbie said. Same kind of thing, little switch. Mine's been just this constant, steady, slow and steady mind shift, and my word for this year is breakthrough. And like, just even saying it, my hands are getting sweaty because like it's being out there on the edge. And, listening to that was an awesome recording with Doug and, about the whole Facebook thing. And that can be scary, that can be scary to delve a little deeper. And my mind shift has just been that, it's scary, but do it anyway, and it's all about the breakthrough. It's about, going in those places that make you nervous, that might be a little uncomfortable. And I say that to say, like, in the back of your mind, I know we all believe that we're helping people, and that can be scary, it can be scary to reach out and break through. But to me, it's just been about looking for opportunities. And I usually can tell that they're there when I feel a little, oh, might be, that might be scary, but I'm going to do it anyway, because it's not about the perfect timing. It's not about doing it right. It's not about how you look. It's just about moving forward, pressing in. I had several opportunities that I would say I created, like that feeling came up, oh, I should go live, but oh, I look a mess, or I should go live, but my kitchen's a mess. I don't want to show this recipe. But you know what? So what? I just moved my phone over to a little space that was clean and took the opportunity and got so many, responses and reactions to, the looking where you don't want to look or going where you don't want to go, So I totally relate to what Debbie said, and just really kind of breaking through. I got down to see Dr. A, which I told you about briefly. And my breakthrough, although it was fantastic getting up there to talk with him, I decided before I went and told a friend, I'm going to go up and talk to him. And that scared me. Like wringing hands, like, oh my gosh, 350 people, I'm going to go up and have Dr. A work with me on how to set goals. And I mean, it was scary, but I thought, if I want to grow, these are the situations that I need to put myself in. And so he gave me some awesome feedback about my goal setting techniques, which I heard, it was like a peanuts. Wah, wah. I'm like, all that I heard about was, I heard the word catastrophic. But you know what? When I got off that stage or area, I thought it didn't matter if I did it right or wrong. Look what I gained, and look how he helped me. And look at, most importantly, that I said I was going to do it and I did it. And later, those words that he said came rushing up to where, what he said is you need to set some exact times. So then what did I do? I put my booty on the line. I put in my support group my last 7 pounds. Like I've been doing 5 and 1 and like I do my life. I get right to the edge and I'm like, I'm good. I mean, I look good. I feel good, but I'm not at my goal. And so I put my booty on the line and told everybody, and I'm telling all of you, by March 17th, I want to lose those 7 pounds. So I'm going to think twice about that candy apple that's sitting up on my counter for my kids, got to walk right by it because my booty's on the line. Do I want to tell you all that? No, because now I got to show up. But it's that pushing through, that breaking through, that pressing on. And that's what I'm getting. It's about the breakthrough. It's about, and it's the practice, because I can be consistent. I've been consistent. And you know what I learned in my consistencies? Sometimes I'm not consistently doing it accurately, but if I don't keep doing it, how am I going to learn that I'm not doing it right? It's failing forward. I'm just so jacked up because I love this. Learning. Just learn how to learn. It's working smarter, not harder. And you can't learn how to work smarter if you're not doing the work, right? So sometimes you have to start out working hard to realize, oh my gosh, like that call with Dan Newman was gold. Having long coaches calls, although that's not my technique, but I got something out of it. Like I can shorten them even still to be precise and direct. But if I weren't doing the calls, I wouldn't know. So
yep,
anyway,
exactly, Tracy. Tracy, we can pretty much just end today. Does everyone feel like we can just end today, like on that note right there? So good. And that you just embodied everything. Pushing yourself forward, learning, realizing that you're taking action, but putting yourself in scenarios where you'll get better. You're displaying the squiggly line that I talk about all the time, that I put back in the PowerPoint today, which we will get to that. So we have a lot to cover today, so we are going to jump in. And Tracy, thanks for teeing us up perfectly, and congratulations. And also, no surprise on why you reached the Big Thinkers Club last month. Congratulations, and congratulations on all the things you're putting in that are going to keep moving forward and create breakthrough in other people. So I love it, you guys. Congratulations on a great start of the month. First weekend, we're at day number 10 of the month. This is our third coffee and consistency training. And we got a lot of stuff to come in to hit on today. We're tuning in from all over the United States. 140 people on. I first just want to say congratulations on being consistent. Half the deal is showing up. Seriously. Like people ask all the time, like, what does it take to be a successful coach? And we're teaching you guys how to keep it simple. And a lot of this really good information is for you guys for all of you that are growing to executive director for the first time or have been building on top of that. But half the deal is showing up, being around other people, getting that one thing, recommitting to that one thing to keep it simple so you can break through and move forward. So great start of the month. I I'm trying to expand my sphere of influence, but all I see is your guys' live and your posts and you're like living out loud, like all those things out there. You guys have started that process this last week. I just want to say great job putting right into practice what we did. So Ashley, by the way, good morning, Ashley. By the way, who's got their coffee? Because it's early over here. I'm an iced coffee drinker. Ashley's a hot coffee drinker. You see, like we're yin and yang. You guys, what do you guys drink? You guys drinking? Put it in the chat. Are you guys hot or cold? What are you guys doing this morning for your coffee or your caffeine? But anyways, we got a lot to cover today because last week we heard some great tips on people that put into everything in the practice about making connections. How to do it authentically, how to be purposeful, how to use social media, basically the difference makers. And those were key. I want to point out on that because I just want to be real with you. Because that's
real quick. How do I see the chat?
I'll open it up for you. Let me open it for you. 1 second. There's the chat.
There it is. Thank you.
Few people were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not seeing any results yet." Of course not. You just started posting it. Like if you just started posting, it takes time to see the results of it. So you got to stay consistent on these things. So the win is in consistency, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Is solid share calls, building on top of that, bringing it to the phone, and follow up. April Pitcairn, who's probably the best, one of the best at this, is going to teach you what she does initially after a call, and then just follow up in general today. But we brought the babysitter to wake up at before 6 o'clock and drive over here and take care of our kids because Ashley and I were talking this week. We want to get unplugged with you guys. And actually, can I get a unplugged in the chat if you guys are cool? We're just unplugged with you on the subject of bringing it to the phone, being relational on share calls, the difference makers. Because a lot of you guys, like I'm going to bring it up here on a slide here, you were asking, how do I awaken clients and integrate them, and how do I awaken coaches? Well, like we learned last week, it starts way before you ever talk to them. It's on what you're sharing on social media, what you're acting like out there. You don't have to be perfect, but be cognizant of what you're putting out there. So we're going to cover today starting clients like pros, setting up future coaches and integrated clients, bringing connections to the phone, and basically how to use this health assessment right here like a pro. So I know you guys probably all have 20 new ones or maybe less because you already are using them. But who's got one in front of them? Because we're going to be going over this today, and I want you guys to mark down some of the stuff we go through. I know you guys got your maps and your connection list. Can I see you, Lindsay? I know you got yours. I see you on my screen. You got yours? Lindsay, she's a pro. Right to her left. Look at that. No surprises. Nicole, you ran like 15,000 frontline volume last month. You're on fire, girl. Where's your stuff? I know you got it. Lindsay reaches to the left. Nicole reaches to the right. See, it's all the same. We just do it a little differently.
Mine would be left.
Mine's to the right.
Mine's right here.
Are you a righty or a lefty when you reach for your stuff? Anyway, we got to dive in today. So we got a lot to cover. We covered up the beginning, before we got into our February, how to set up your month. And I really want you guys to hear this again. If hopefully you have your notepads. If you haven't set up your structure yet, make sure that I really want to encourage you to put that into play. It makes all the difference in simplicity and making this not easy. If you don't have it planned, then it's work that you have to do to go do it. If it's planned, you just go do it. So, and some of you might be realizing, doing it for the first time, you're realizing what works in your schedule, what doesn't. Okay, by the way, we can be unplugged today. They said we can be unplugged.
Oh, good.
You just need to wake up.
Okay, I'm awake.
And so we talked about that difference maker, the map, and the connections list. Last week was all about social media, the difference maker, all of those things. And Lindsay crushed it by bringing it to the phone and giving an example. And that's what we're going to pick up today. I brought this slide back in because this has been a staple for our last few trainings, but I didn't use them in the last couple of weeks. For all of you new coaches, I know you look around and you're like, oh my gosh, Lindsay, she's so amazing. Or, oh, blah, 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 Tracy, I want to be just like Tracy. Or like, all those things, Dan and Jill, they're so incredible. We all are learning, and like we all have things like we never do it perfect. So just learn to do it better. Learn to do the things that we all do. We have systems, and with those systems, every single person that trains on this is running over 10,000 frontline volume and sponsors well. I know they do the things well because they see the results from it. So everyone that does those things have the same things implemented in. And so if you link arms with your support team, if you follow what we're doing, your squiggly line will look like more on the far right-hand side than it looks for Ashley and I in the middle when there was no systems. There was nothing going on when we got started. So that's my encouragement. I brought this one back in here too for all the people that messaged like, oh, I'm not seeing results this week. Stay consistent. You guys all know what I'm talking about. Lindsay, you're like, Lindsay and Nicole are both nodding right now. They're like, yes. Because when you stay consistent, that's when the breakthroughs happen. You won't see the results of what you're doing. And that's why after every time we do a month of training, copy, and consistency, because we do it in series, teaching you how to take on a month, people's best months are the month after that from the consistency they put in. But anyways, we're in the best time of year to make connections. I want you guys to think about this, because sometimes we can get caught up in like the daily connections, like, oh, that person's not ready yet. Hold on a second, I gotta mute somebody real quick. There's so many people on that it's taking forever to mute people. Are we good? All right, we're good. Just reminding you of this slide right here is just continue making the connections, building on top of each month. Everything you build adds to another and adds to another on top of it. And if you're staying consistent, this is what happens over time. So this is all about consistency, and I want you guys, I just want to congratulate on that. Especially those, like, did everyone enjoy their commission checks a few days ago? Like, you guys see that in the back or in the Optavia Connect? I got so many great messages like, oh my gosh, it was my best month, because so many people were consistent through the holidays. So well done. Let me make sure I'm not missing the chat here. Oh my gosh, there's so many great things going on in the chat. And I can't see the screen. So we want to start off this day with some mindset, because part of what we're going through a month is we want you to get into the minds of what people are doing. Like, what does Lindsay do? What does Nicole do? You guys are just on my screen. Hey, Norma, you and Larry hit over 10,000 last month. Congratulations. Like, what do they do? So on the 10th of the month, thinking like a champ, like Tracy was talking about what Dr. A taught her. Like, where are you at 1/3 of the way through the month? Just a pulse check, just like to see how things are going. What does your business need? Where are you focusing your time? Committing back to those one things that make the difference in your coaching. So connections, how are you doing? Have you been consistent, or do you need to catch up? How's your health journey doing? Like, not perfection, but continuing to get better. How many share calls have you done, and have you put energy into that? New clients, by the way, like almost 300 new clients in our whole organization just this month alone. You guys didn't wait to wake up around the 15th like people normally do. You're working in structure, and that is a beautiful thing. Exploring coaching. Like, who is on your list? Who do you need to set up explore calls with? Who do you need to be layering or pursuing or planting seeds with? And then lastly, working with coaches on your team. Like, where are you at on those things 1/3 of the way through the month? Right now, working on your map daily and checking your Optavia Connect. A few people have like asked me things. They're like, oh my gosh, I don't know where I'm at. I'm like, do you check your Connect like daily? Like, are you in there? And they're like, no. And I'm like, you don't have to go like scour it. There's no new clients or new coaches in there. Well, there might be new coaches in there, but getting a pulse on your current reality daily, that's a habit of a healthy business. So if you're not doing that, make sure, like, on your phone, just wake up at some point and just check it real quick. Just see where you're at, assessing where you're at on the day-to-day of the month. What you focus on is what grows. And then working really well on coming back to those one things. This is like golf, you guys. And some of you guys might not play golf, but if you don't play golf, basically whatever game that you're working on, like it's your putting game, as soon as you get that under control, then that's the thing that, like, you start working on your driving, and then your putting gets out of practice. Like, it's just coming back to shoring up and committing to those one thing basics that grow. Like, Lindsay, like, I love this because your business is doing so well, and you're just like, yep, I do all these things. Basically, where do you want to be on the last day of the month? Always go into that guide. Like, where are you going to be? Are you going to be finishing up the month strong? Are you going to be above and beyond? Are you going to be enjoying the last day of the month? And then basically, like we was talking about, how's your schedule going? Coming back to those basics, reassessing and navigating going forward. So taking some time today to just say, what do I want to shore up on that? That's what I would ask and encourage you guys today as a mindset check. So with that being said, Ashley, should we dive into this call? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, you guys. All right, I don't want to like talk her up too much. This girl just turned 30, and like it even went up another notch. She doesn't look a day over 25, but she's going to drop some knowledge on this. And before we get into this, I wanted to bring back the pockets of schedule. And I know I'm talking about the schedule, but it's when people get these things dialed in, that's the difference maker. And so a lot of the things that we're going to go over in this week and next week, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's why you have a pocket of days where you know you're more available. Oh my gosh, that's why you have a follow-up day. I can get this, this, and this done during that time. It's not extra stuff. Oh, celebration calls, connecting with my clients in their first 7 to 10 days. I have a check-in day. I'm just going to do it when I'm already checking in with them. Like, super simple. We're going to come back to these things, and you're going to see this weaved in here for simplicity. But we're going to start where Lindsay left off last week. It's bringing it to the phone. and going over and into a share call. And one thing you want to really do when you're doing this, and you guys are getting really good at these things, is how to simply move the conversation naturally and starting to guide them and integrate clients from day one. So we have kind of a saying, it's not giving away the how before the why. You guys know what I'm talking about on that? Anyone get how questions here? Like, how much does it cost? What is this program? How does the 501 work? Like, the list goes on. Like, all the questions that they're programmed to ask that we probably asked in the beginning because we don't know what we're asking for. And you want to, the thing that we want to help out with this is sometimes we feel lost and like, oh, how do I do this? Or like, oh, what do I do? We kind of start to get robotic, and it's like, I want to go back to Allison Petty's like patented, just don't be weird, y'all. Like, just have some fun with this. So Ashley's going to go over a few examples of bringing it to the phone and how she did that just from our recent examples. So Ashley, I'm going to turn it over to you. And I want us to say, what are some of the things that you do that help people? Because I watch you do this, and it's so natural and fluid, and it helps people feel like you're the guide from day one, and you're so approachable, and you make them feel so comfortable. And it starts from before they even got on the phone with you, but it starts with this message is here. So we have some examples on this. And again, I just brought this up because we put this poll in here. Part of how you do these things will magnify how you awaken clients and how coaches come on. It starts, again, before you ever talk to them and before they ever start a program here. So anything that we should be aware of in the chat besides people wishing you happy birthday? All right, so I wanted to hit on that because that was the two biggest questions. And I hope over the next couple of weeks, you guys see like, oh my gosh, there's no magic tool. It's doing the work like Debbie was talking about. It's those little pieces in there that make all the difference in starting it early. So we have some examples here that we want to move into, but it starts before they ever start programs, like how you're living on social media, how you're following up, and how your experience with them. Remember, for all of you guys here that are watching, they only know what they see. Remember that. Like, we want to think about this from their perspective. And that might be something to talk to you about. Like, are you just talking about weight loss, or are you talking about how your life's going? And some of you in the beginning, are you complaining about life and not showing like what's possible about those things? Are you a positive, or I think Dan Bell always says, do you light up the room when you come in or when you leave, basically? So Tracy's like, oh my gosh, yes. So just something to think about. Remember their orientation. They only know what they see, and they have no idea what this is. They're trying to put it together. Connecting with people makes the difference. You're going to get people that are going to try to ask you for information or try to sign up online, or you're going to want to take the easy route sometimes and do that. Spend the time in the front end to start your clients well, because what you do duplicates, and if spending the time in the front end will be the key in them moving forward and integrating and eventually paying it forward. Make it simple to connect and say yes. This is one of the biggest things that I see is like something for people to help out with. Nash will give some examples of this. I see a lot of these messages sometimes, like someone reaches out and they ask questions and they kind of have this awkward, like, I know I'm supposed to bring it to the phone, but I'm not supposed to answer the how, and they kind of get robotic. And then there's the classic, like, great, let me know when you have time. Do you guys know how like annoying that is to people? Like, if someone asked me like, hey Brad, when do you have time to schedule something? I'd be like, oh my gosh, now I gotta go to my schedule. I don't even know how much time this is gonna take. Now I'm like, I don't even know. The kids are crying. Like, I don't know. I don't wanna like make it easy for people to say yes. Throw out a couple times. Make it simple and easy. Engage them in the process and give them something that they can say yes to. That's a classic example. Anything you want to add to that?
I think one thing that people like, if you feel stuck in these spots and you're like, I don't know how to do this, think to good experiences in your life with the service industry and think to poor experiences within the service industry. So for instance, we are looking at maybe purchasing property at the beach. And so when Brad reached out, like, because you have to message the realtors and whatever, right, when you're looking on Redfin or whatever it is, right? So the reach out back from that realtor was really quick. And it was like, can I talk to you tomorrow? Can you come to the beach tomorrow? And Brad's like, I can't make it tomorrow, but I could make it Saturday. And the guy's like, great, I can meet you at 9:30, blah, blah, blah. Here's the address. Does that work for you? Yes, it does. So
super helpful, super engaging. I felt like I knew him just from his first email back.
So when they met, when we got out of the car, it was immediately like, hey man, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. And that's the experience that we want to bring to like people reaching out to us, whether it's about coaching or about our program, is that type of confidence and service. So think to those experiences. I like to think, what experience am I bringing? And for me, I'm like, I want the like top of the line Nordstrom experience, like for my clients. Does that make sense to you guys? So kind of get like, if you feel robotic or clunky or uncomfortable, start thinking like, this is a job and this is a service industry career. And start thinking in that mindset of how you want to serve these people. Okay.
I think that's
let's go.
Let's go. And I always want to say one last thing as we're doing this. We're going to go over details of how to do this. Do not get caught up in the details. Like, it's relationship first is the key, is the guide. And then we're going to give you steps that will make this process and things that hit on. I don't do it perfectly every single time because I'm more focused on the relationship. But some of the things we cover will be difference makers in this. So actually show some of your examples because like.
Okay, so this happened on Wednesday. I got a message from, it was a text. And so this girl said, hello, my name is whatever. I'm friends with one of my clients who orders from you. I am very interested in ordering as well. Is there information you can send me? My email is blank. Thanks a bunch, blank. I said, good morning. A friend of my clients is a friend of mine. It's so good to meet you. I would love to send you info and connect. I like to set up a call time to go over a quick health assessment to hear about your goals and your current health to best guide you in the program that may fit your goals the best. Are you available for a call tonight after you're off work, say for about 20 minutes or so?
So clear. So clear.
So, she said, I am like, I can't see it. She says, nice to meet you too. I can do a call tonight, blah, 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 blah. I plan on leaving around 4:45, 5-ish. So I knew she was going to, I don't love to do a call when they're in their car. I would like to get them in a situation where they can actually sit down and like be present, but I'll take what I can get, right? So I did give the next option. Okay, great. If you'd rather be in a place where you can feel more relaxed and focused, we can do tomorrow. I could even do during your lunch break tomorrow, which works best for you. She says, let's do tonight. I'm not guaranteed my lunches because she's the boss. And anyways, from that point, it was like, great. Called her at 4:45, got her information. Starting, she and her husband are starting. That's it. So I never, like, you know, the like, can you send me information? You see what I did was I answered, like, of course, I'd love to, and da-da-da-da. I actually never did have to send her information. And if I had, it would have been inaccurate because her husband's a type 1 diabetic. I would have never known that. And I would have never known she actually was messaging me because she is at her healthy weight. She has a kinesiology degree. So she like teaches health, but she does not have, she's out of ideas of healthy food to eat as snacks throughout her day. So she was not messaging me for 5 and 1. So whatever I had assumed would have been completely inaccurate. Therefore, I had to get her on the phone before I could send information. Does that make sense to you guys?
Love it.
Great.
And you knew your schedule, so you knew you could just do that call. Like, it wasn't like, oh man, I got to see if I can do this. You know when you do your work, and I know it's like tends to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are like your go-to days. And if it works another time, you can do that as well. So great example. Okay, we talked about how questions, Ashley. I don't know if you can get any more how questions all at once than this person that messaged you right here.
So I grew up with this girl. She's actually a friend of my little sister's, and she's probably been following me since the beginning for 9 years, right? So it was her time. Hey, Ashley, what do you do? What is the 5 and 1 program? How much does it cost? My goal is to lose around 20, 25 pounds, then be able to maintain. Plus just be healthier. Shoot. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I did pretty good after her son was born in regards to working out, but I'm very good at just stopping the workouts and eating poorly. I feel if I changed my diet, that would be night and day for me. I did not answer that. Okay? I said, let's talk. I want to hear more and see if this might be a good fit. I'll explain 5 and 1 and we can decide if that's the best version of our programs to match your personal goals. Are you free today? Sounds good. I'm on my way to work. I'm free tomorrow. Most of the day other than a Costco run and visiting another friend of ours. Are you available tomorrow? How's 2:15 tomorrow look? Mine's the blue, if you're not familiar with these colors. I'm the blue, she's the gray. Do you see how it's like back and forth? Get it done, right? Sounds good. Let's tentatively set that. I might be with her friend, but I could step away for a few. Not 100% sure what time I'm going over there. Yeah, sounds great. My number is blank. When you see me, call. Right? So she'll answer my call. Tell so-and-so I say what's up. Okay?
Relational, engaging, not robotic, but not having to go back and forth. It's the perfect balance. You guys like this? I think from what the chat says, I think people like this example.
So I really think it's important to like honor their question as you guide. So you see them like, yeah, of course I'll explain 5 and 1, but let's hear about your goals. And then we can decide if that's even the right fit.
Let's do one more.
Okay, so then the first one was a text referral.
Oh, by the way, I love this one. This is an example of utilizing one of our story calls that really made a difference for this person. So watch Ashley beautifully do this.
Okay, so this one was another referral from one of my clients, okay? So, hey, Ashley, my client gave me your name and said I should contact you to find out more info about Optavia and that she thought you had a call tonight. So my client knew that I was, that we were doing our Stories of Health call. And that's how this came to be. May I join the call to find out more? Hi, so-and-so. The client just messaged me.
By the way, genius. She didn't just we didn't just have this call. She posted it in our support page, and she also connected with her clients that she wanted, that knew would be good referrals. She used something that was already happening to like expand in different ways, shapes, and form, and also layer coaching for this person because she wants to help this person move into coaching.
Right. So Amy, I'm actually, the point of all this is my whole goal is that Amy becomes a coach.
Because she's qualified and she's referred, like, how many people do you know?
I don't even know. That's a whole other conversation. Three people. No, 5. But anyways, so yes, so what we did was we posted the Real Stories of Health call and graphics into our client support page, and then I tagged all of my clients. I pulled up my map for the last 3 months, and I tagged every single person on my map in that so they could see that this was happening, so that they understood that this is like a great thing to invite people to. And I used that to, that's how I used it, whatever. Okay, so let's see. So yes, the call would be great. Brad, my husband, will be hosting it with some clients and coaches we work with, and participants will be getting a nice scholarship. So there was that $25 scholarship if they decide it's a good fit for them. Here's the info. Okay, thanks. I will. I'm very curious to find out about it. I figure we'll answer a lot of the questions we'd go over one-on-one, but you'll get to see real people share their experiences first. Then let's connect after. Okay, see, I already gave him the next step. It wasn't just a flat, here's an invite. It was like giving her that extra nudge that like, hey, when you get on this call, we'll be talking about it after, to reinitiate, kind of like, not to hold her to it, but just like to give her that extra little nudge to really make the commitment to get on this thing to learn more. And the call really did a lot of the work for me. I mean, by the time she got to the call, she started immediately. There was like hardly any question about it. Then let's connect after. I'll be available anytime tomorrow between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. to schedule. That's my block where my son is in school. So that's my availability. You guys get that? So they understand that. I'm flexible with it. I'm flexible, but I'll the first try is to get them within my actual schedule. Okay. And then she had been really sick. So that's why I said I'm sorry you're so sick. Seriously, we only catch a break on this sick thing. So I did not ignore. I still stayed on topic, even though she had like walking pneumonia. Like I stayed on topic and made a comment that was relational. And then I know she said, I know it's everywhere. Can we schedule a time to talk tomorrow? And I'll try to make the call. I'm not sure if I'm making it to work tomorrow, but could we schedule at 8?
Simple.
That was it.
Awesome. Is this helpful for you guys? Can I get like a 1 in the chat if this is like, if you're getting some good, if this is helping you? All right. She's so genius.
I've started out of those. That last one started right away. The one before hasn't yet, but I layer her. That's what you're going to see April teach all the time, and have personal relationship, like that thing. And then the one before, she just messaged me. So she and I are talking today after she read about the diabetes thing, and she has a peanut. That's another thing. She had a peanut allergy. I couldn't just start her with a packet. She has a peanut allergy. Like, very clear reasons that we have to do a health assessment. I could not set her up with the standard variety pack because she's very allergic. So we're working together to get her peanut-free, order together / help her type 1 diabetic husband get the right fit for him.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Super good, you guys. I think the chat, there's a ton of ones in there. So we want to spend some time on this. We actually might not get to April's follow-up deal today. We might have to push that to next week. But I just want to honor your time to finish on time. But this is so important here. You can see that there's like multiple things that make the difference. And for all of you guys out there that are watching that are like, oh, okay, does this work the same for guys? Yes, it does. So like, and to answer,
why would it be different for your gender?
Everyone thinks that everyone looks at other people and they're like, oh, I don't know if it's the same way for me. It's always the same. But this is a good example. Amber asked, how do you handle calls outside of your block times? Well done. First off, having block times gives it easier so you know.
Right. Like you have to have block times to even have that issue. So if you have block times, step 1, great job. If they can't for some reason do within your block times, I mean,
ask yourself if you can realistically do it. Here's an example that I want to show you. And if not, you can always just go back to your block times. You know, there's usually a way to make it work.
There's a way to make anything work.
So here's an example. We had a friend over on Saturday, and I get this text at 2:53, right in the middle of lunch. We're having lean and green. And they go, hey, Brad, accidentally went off a jump and didn't see our skiing, and the last 2 weeks been off the gym, currently fatter than I've ever been again in my life. Mr. Miller, will you be my health coach and walk beside me alongside my journey? Amazing 30-day from fatty to 6-pack abs. And I just like relational. Dude, I accept. Are you really down to take a daily photo? And he's like, nonetheless, in every outfit or in the same outfit. And I go, yeah, buddy, let's talk to get you set up. Like, again, like just setting up that time. I go, you want to chat later today? And he goes, yep, evening will be great. And I go, sweet. So I go, I have some company over, say around 6:45. So Amber, to answer your question, I'm definitely more available on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I could have done that, but I just thought to myself, well, we have company. As soon as they leave, I can do a quick call. It's like 20, 30 minutes. And I just asked them if they were free at that time. It was no big deal. Got started. I had my health assessment printed out already. I just went to my office and grabbed one and did it. Done. Caught up because I haven't talked to this guy in a little bit. Bing, bang, boom, out of there. And I was happy because I made the choice that I wanted to do that call outside of my normal times, and it didn't feel like work. And it didn't feel unbalanced. So I just let Ashley know, and bing, bang, boom, new person started.
Like I'm not going to do a call when that's the thing. It's like when you have your block so specific, you actually are more available. I hope that makes sense. Like, so instead of thinking you're always working, you have a very realistic view that you are not always working. That's like, so when you don't schedule, you think you're always working. When you do schedule, you know that's not the case. You know that's not actually factual. So for instance, one time that's like not gonna budge more almost ever, for some crazy reason, maybe it would, but I can't see why it would. Brad and I like have very few, like there's like blocks where it's like this one, nothing can get booked on this. So there's, when you look at that, like the only ones really would be our date night on Thursday night, but we will communicate if something like really crazy happens, like an amazing opportunity with somebody, we will talk together to work that out. But come on, like we don't want to make up scenarios that are like once a year scenarios, like big deal. So Thursday from like 6 or 6:30 on, that's not really going to work. But other than that, like we can make anything work.
Awesome. We want to move forward on this. We want to get to the health assessment, and probably we'll definitely have to hit on follow-up later. But as we finish up here, this is what we go back to when we talk about this makes the difference before you ever talk to them. When you're talking about creating clients that are integrated in coaches, make it about them and be interested in them. Make it easy to say yet. I can't stress enough mindset. They're contacting you. You have the goods. Like Tracy, does people reaching out to you, have they lost 60 pounds? I can't remember your exact, health journey, but like, have they done that? No, they're reaching out to you. You've got the goods. Make sure that you're helpful and like you're going to lead them from day one. They haven't done this. So especially the how questions, don't let that bug you because they haven't done what you've done and what you do on a daily basis. How easy do you make it? Because this plays a big role in duplicating all of these things. And the more you do of these, the more natural it feels. So Ashley, I think you want to say one thing before we go into the health assessment about like, if you're a newer coach, what to do. Like do them quickly and do them with your
oh my gosh, it's so funny because Tracy just said it. She was like, why don't I just do things like be consistent and like screw up faster? Like, like why am I dragging on sucking? Like just do it and get like be really bad really fast. And so my experience, everyone's experience with this is everyone might feel weird and clunky and robotic and not very charismatic and not very suave with the health assessment for the first, I don't know how many times, okay? So do as many health assessments as you can as quickly as possible to work out the awkward faster. Okay? That's my advice to you. Everybody goes through this. So just do more of them more quickly.
Yeah. So if you're a new coach, use your support team to bring value to the people that you're talking to help them best and learn quickly and do them best. Like if you're in your first like moving to senior coach, or if you're probably there already, but if you are a new coach, knock out 10 as fast as possible, or else it's going to feel like you're moving around in mud, like with cinder blocks around your ankles. So yes, you're right. Fast. Speaking of faster.
Let's go.
Doing a share call like a pro. So everyone, you guys got a fresh one to look at here? Lindsay's like reaching for hers right now. All right, I want you guys to make some notes on this. So this is how to do it like a pro. So invite to explore. Phone, Zoom, or in person, everyone's good. I think we find that phone is definitely the easiest, connection point. And again, people don't know what it looks like to connect, so you have to lay that out for them. Zoom is great too. Face-to-face from the very beginning, that is a difference maker if you can make it simple for that to be the case. In person is awesome too, but you might be throwing off what that person thinks it might look like to be a coach and or how to refer people to you. So just kind of keep that in mind.
That's true.
20 to 30 minutes. 45 if it goes long to do a share call, to be honest with you. And again, there's no right or wrong way, but if you're, the average would probably fall into that category. The faster you do 10, the better it gets. Go for it. Remember, I'm going to go over some things right here, but it's a conversation. If you focus on them, that's all you need to do. That's the win right there. If you do anything, just focus on the people in front of you. Well, I got to be someone.
I'm going to have to leave for a minute because it won't.
We'll miss you, Kaylee.
Spend the time up front, explain it how it will look, be bold, and layer the full health coaching and referrals from the start.
Perfect. So let's dive in here. We all get the how questions. We all nodded on that. Ashley got some how questions. How much does it cost? Is it like this? How does it work? Does the food taste like this? We don't want to ignore their questions or like act like we're like ignoring them, but we can't explain hows until we find out the why, to Ashley's points. So bring value on that. Steps of a call. I'm going to go through a layout here so you can see it step by step, but really when you look at this page, I want you guys to think about just the flow of it. There's a welcoming and intro into the call, helping someone get settled. There is awakening and asking questions and weaving your story into it, not making it about yourself. Share the program, make the matches, and explain our 4 components after you have an idea of what they want. Then always after, they're going to have questions or clarifications on how that's going to help them hit their goals. And after you've done that, invite to get started, especially for new coaches. Like I would always be around the bush.
Do we have the 4 components in front of them?
I'm gonna go over here in a second. Then when they're ready to get started, get their information, lay out the next steps, layer referrals and layer coaching from the very beginning before you let them go. And again, I would say overall, like there's so many things you can do well, but my gauge on how well a call goes is not how much I hit on and how perfectly I do it. It's how much of a connection I make with that person and how much we probably laugh or like talk about things that are equal interest throughout the call. So like that's a big thing. Anything you want to say to that? Okay. So grab the health assessment. This is what I want, like again, just practice on this stuff and just kind of seeing how this would work for you if you're doing a call. One, if you're not using health assessments yet, you'll never probably have more than 10 clients because you'll be going crazy after 10 clients. So this is super key if you want to actually grow and do a good job supporting. First off, introduction of the call, just being like calm and collected with that. Hey, how are you doing? I'm so glad we're connecting today. There's some verbiage on there, but basically, wherever they're at, you're helping the person get settled and letting them know it's about them, easing that in. I want you guys to think about it like a party. Have you ever walked into a party that you weren't familiar with? And if you didn't get an intro into that party, you'd be sitting there like, what does this look like? What are these people like? What is this going to be about? If someone was there to meet you at the front door and say, welcome, I'm so glad you're here. This is what it's going to look like. How are you doing tonight? Like that's going to help you feel at ease and get you into the situation. So that's step number 1 is helping them introing the call. Then this is the way I would encourage looking at it. There's step 1, there's weaving your story into it. And then there's daily habits of routine. Like Lindsay covered last time we did this series, there's no order to this. So I basically look at this. She's like nodding or she's like, no, there's no order to this. The first thing I always ask is, tell me a little bit about what you're trying to accomplish, or tell me a little bit about what your goals are. Tell me about where I just want to know. I want them to start talking about what they want. Is there anything you use that usually get them started in talking?
Definitely share with me about your health goals.
Yeah. So they start talking. And remember, some people will either just jump in and just share their whole life with you, and that happens more often than you think. And some people might just like start tiptoeing in a little bit. I like to make sure we ask at least 5 or 6 good questions in the very beginning to find out a little bit more than just weight loss. And so if you need them, I don't read these verbatim, but there's a ton of good questions right here. How would you describe your current state of health? How much weight would you like to lose?
I actually do use like these very, like the way it says, I actually do ask just like that.
Yeah. Okay. So we do it, see how we do it like slightly different, but all the same? Like
if this, to me, it's like this. If the system, like I'm just going to use the system. So it really doesn't matter like how many years I've been doing this. When this came out, I was like, I'm going to use it the way it's laid out. I really am. But I'm not like, how many hours of sleep? When do you wake up? When do you go to bed? Oh, do you feel rested? Do you drink coffee? Do you drink soda? Do you drink? Like, I don't do it like that, but I actually do get like pretty much every answer through this.
I think that's kind of basically what I'm trying to get at is you don't want to read this thing. And it's kind of hard. Like I actually do ask the questions basically in this order, but more in general, like if you're just asking them about their health and asking them more about it, 5 or 6 good questions to find out more of what it means if it's a conversation. And if you need more questions, they're all right here. And weaving your story in, it's not about your story. They don't care about yours, but
they do. They do care, But it's about them.
It's about them. If you make it about yourselves on the call, they ain't interested in it. They just want to know if it's working. So if you can validate by showing similarity of your story to something that they say, that's key.
But
also,
not on everything they say.
Just,
like, be like, oh, I wake up at that time too. Like, they don't care. Like, don't talk about that stuff.
Everyone knows those people that are like,
like people way try to like over connect, and I'm like, no, they don't care.
Yeah. So
they don't care.
That's what this one means here. Is share your story, weave it in somewhere where it matches. And especially talking about bringing on coaches, if you're only sharing your weight loss and not maybe parts of how like they can see a peek into how you got started with coaching, you're planting the seed earlier with that. So again, conversational.
That's such a good point. A lot of them, they don't ask you, but they want to know, like, how did you go from this to coaching? And I think that when you like weave that in, not in like this weird, like, I gotta get this in, like when it's just natural, because it really is just your story, you put yourself in that, like, how did I get here? That's, people want to know like that type of stuff.
And Lindsay said this last time she trained on this, is like, you don't have to, like, you can hop over. This is just the whole page.
Yeah.
Like, they might bring up their hydration or they might bring up their stress. It's okay. Go with it. It doesn't have to go in order. And you also don't need to like ask everyone robotically. Like, the way I look at this is I want to try to talk about all these things, but I have a whole health journey to find out more about these things.
So highlight the things you told me yesterday. You're like, there's some non-negotiable, there's 2 non-negotiable areas that like, these are the clenchers really to either convert to coaching or to like get them started quickly.
Someone asked if they already know your story well, how do you refresh during your health assessment? I guarantee they don't know all of your journey. They don't know the complete thing. So you'll find something in there where you get to be like, oh my gosh, like sleep. I've lost weight, but the sleep has been I don't know, just there'll be something in there. So, and again, it's not about your story. You're just weaving it in there.
Don't overstress that. Don't overstress that, I don't think.
You're using this is all about awakening right here. So my non-negotiables, I mean, if I'm really trying to make sure I hit one, it's like, I kind of want to know about their stress. I want to know if they're going to be working out or have been working out. Hydration is a good conversation one. Sleep is a big eye opener because it helps them realize this is not just about diet food. But this one, hands down, eating habits. Asking the eating habits is like a golden question because it's going to give you an insight to their day. It's also going to let you know if they're like in touch with reality or not. Because some people will be like, yeah, I ate this kale salad and then I had this. And it's like, yeah, you did that once, like 5 years ago. Like, totally. Like, yeah, that's why we're talking about losing 100 pounds. Like, yeah, you did that on kale salad. Yeah. Anyways, or just like what their day looks like. Most people have spent the cost of program by the time they get to lunch. So just knowing that you can weave that in there at that time, or you can just put it in your back pocket like, oh my gosh, this is so going to be extra affordable. It's going to save them income. So I like that one because you're teeing up. Because people, again, guys, back to this here, is most people think they don't know, most people aren't aware of their budgets. That's just how it is. Like they'll think, oh my gosh, that money, that's extra money. They don't think like, oh my gosh, I'm trading out my grocery bill. That's not a normal thought process for most people unless they really are dialed in on nutrition. Like that guy that I started, he's very nutritionally focused. He's like $392 to get started. Are you kidding me? Like that's like, I spend $1,000 on food a month. That's how much it costs to eat healthy. Like he's like, this is going to save me so much money. Anything you want to add to that? Nope. Alrighty.
Nope.
Perfect. Then I move to the back. And this is where it gets a little bit more fluid. I might ask them these questions, but I definitely come back to this section before I finish up. So it's like, are you on any medication or is there anything you think I should know about your health? You know, I don't ask them.
So, quick note on this. Here's how I go. Do you have any allergies or are you on any medications? I just covered the entire section.
Yep.
That's it. If I know that if they have a baby, I will ask, like, are you nursing? But that's it.
Yep.
So I do not ask, hear me in this, I do not ask, do you have any food intolerances or food allergies? I say, do you have any allergies or are you on any medications? Because food intolerances, you're going to open up a can. Just I'm very, very, very potato intolerant to the point where like it's bad. In real life, I will tell you because it's important to me. I'm not going to be looking for this thing that like, I'm a little sensitive to gluten because this one time, like I had a breakout. Like, no, don't set them up for that. Like do you have any allergies? Nope. You on any medications? Nope. Great.
Exactly.
I just covered the whole section.
And there's questions you can ask here, but sometimes I basically pick it up after I've explained programs. So at this point, we know about their health. We know what their desires are. They've even opened up a lot or they've opened up a little. And that's when we move into explaining program. Like, great. Okay, now that I have an idea, then you go, like all of you guys hopefully have this share page. For me, it's laminated in my book right here or in my binder. And these are the things that I explain. So this is where it's a good idea to write down some of these things. So when I move into this share outline is so key. So I'm like,
real quick. Someone's like, but I do have somebody with a soy intolerance. That's why you ask it.
Yeah.
Because like if it's that big of a deal, they need to tell you. Like that's why. So you do ask it, but you're not digging for problems.
You're not like, hey, let's open up an open forum for you to complain about stuff. Here's the way I look at it. People are adults. They eat food every day. Like they know this is like, they know they're going to be eating. They'll tell you, like, trust me, like they go and order food all the time. They know how to eat. So that's why we ask the question, but we don't open up the can of worms. They'll tell you if they have health consideration. Plus there's another thing that I'll do at the very end that makes it all come together. So when we move into the share, this is really good here. So I'll move into this. I'm like, great. Okay. Now that I know a better fit about what you're looking for, let's take a look at some of what.
We're on the clock. Let's get it.
I know.
Let's go.
Holy cow. An hour went fast. Holy cow. Is this helpful for you guys? Like, is this, okay, good. Because this is probably, once you get this, the rest becomes very, very simple. So basically I move into like, all right, great. I'm reassessing like, okay, this is fantastic. All right, so let me explain a little bit about how this works and a couple of the options that we have. I always say options because if you literally just say 5 and 1, you may not have heard everything yet and you're pigeonholing them. If you only give one option, well, then you're debating if that option is a fit or not. If you give options, you're helping them figure out which option is the best fit for them. It's a totally different setup. So I say, first off, we're a whole optimal health program. So you have 4 components that really makes this work. And all 4 components are the difference maker in making this happen. And maybe you hopefully have shared something that was a fit for you earlier on, like leaving this back all together. You have a health coach. So that's me. I'm going to support you and guide you. Like the more you can be in contact, the better. Habits of Health, a book that you can read along your journey that's going to help explain things and open up your mind to educating on optimal health. Our Optavia community, we have a Facebook page, support calls. Honestly, probably hands down one of the most important parts of this. Like the people that dive into this do this the best. Again, you can talk to them more. I'm just trying to move quickly because we're getting short on time. And then lastly, I get to the fueling. So we have fueling plans that support you on where you want to be in whatever level of health. And I say these important things. I'm like, each plan is revolved around eating 6 times a day and learning how to take care of your body. So we have a few different plans. One plan, again, most of the time it's going to be 5 and 1, like 98% of the time. But I'm going to be like this one, or we have some other options. But especially if this is a fit, I'm going to be like, I'm going to start explaining the 5 and 1. And I don't explain too much. Like I might explain some benefits, but it's like they're easy to go. They help you put into a fat burning state after 4 days. You eat every 2 to 3 hours. You drink your water. There are simple, easy guideline layouts for the one meal you have a day. You lose weight very quickly. Say anything that might pertain to them. Like if they're like worried about losing muscles, like you'll protect your muscle on this plan. That's the way this is set up. And you'll have ton of energy and you'll lose weight really quickly. All the things that matter to them, I don't go into explaining all the other details. And that's the setup. And then that way, like,
don't get caught up in talking about the brownie and the chocolate mint bar for 10 minutes. Seriously.
Yeah.
But if you do that, that's why you do more health assessments, because you're going to realize for your own self the things that like do not have any influence in moving people forward towards getting started. So kind of like screw up 10 times and you're going to start to see everything we're saying that for you where you're like, there was no point in me going over that. Trust me, that's the only reason we know how to do this, because we did it so bad.
Yeah, so just keeping it simple so they can see how it works. and then answering questions, the details. Then it's like information regarding the prices. I just kind of weave it in there. It's like the best part about this is probably less than what you're spending on food. It's about $12, $13 a day. Again, I can weave that in early, later, or here, and just helping get there going. Because if you focus enough on their why, the how doesn't really matter as much. Like you'll get to the point where, and this will freak you out if you haven't had this happen yet, where you'll get off the phone and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even tell them the price. They just said they were ready to go and they gave me all their information. You guys know if you do this really well, there's no issue with cost if you're giving them what they want.
No.
So let me go back here because I want to wrap up here today, and we're definitely going to have April come back and do this part here. This is where I go back as I'm finishing up here, because now you've heard what they want. You've tied it together with an explanation. They can start to see it. They're going to have clarification questions. So I'm going to go back in here and be like, great. Is there anything, this is where it's like great to come back to, like, is there anything more I should know about your health? This is another chance to open up even more now that they're further comfortable in the conversation. And they might have good questions like, oh, okay, like I work like this. Can I do this? Or blah, 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 this. They're going to get a few clarification questions in there. So you answer that, and I tie it up a pretty bow, like, yeah, I think this one's going to be a fit for you. It's going to help you with X, Y, Z, whatever you said was something you wanted to focus on. This is going to work great. And then this is where you invite to get started on these pieces here. So wait, here, going back here. The invite this is the back side of the share page. Invite them to get started. So key. Again, they don't know what it looks like. They might think it's a huge, like, big process. You want to be like, great, would you like to get started? I can get everything set up for you right now and get your stuff on your way. Like, again, just invite them to get started is the key. Like, it's simple. Or
I actually like the way these are worded.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
No, I mean, they can read it. We don't have time, but I actually do like some of these.
All right, wait, Nicole's asking you order the health assessment.
Yeah, anything that's like the health assessments from prior don't look like this. So unfortunately, toss them. And I would print out the new ones. And the reason for that too is because, like, when you are training new health coaches, you need to make sure, because I screwed this up, you need to make sure you're both using the same health assessment. So I accidentally, not knowing that the kit had a different one than the new one, and the new one's so much better, that I was training somebody on an old health assessment. And she's like, where are you getting these questions? And I was like, crap. So just so you know, that's that. So these are the new ones.
Yeah.
Oh, good. The new kit might have the new health assessment.
That's what I understand. So anyways, let's wrap up here. So basically, the important thing is inviting to get started, and that is the key, and showing them how simple it is. Great. Would you like to get started? We can take care of it right now or whenever you're ready.
I'm just like, yeah, like, all right, great. Do you have any last questions before we get you started?
That's actually even better. That's why she's speaking on here. That's better than me.
And they're like, nope. I'm like, great. Where do you want it shipped? All right, great. What card do you want it on? Okay. What's your email address? All right, awesome. Congratulations, we got you started. That's all I needed to know. Your order is going to be arriving in about a week. You're going to get right away, as soon as I put this in, you're going to get your welcome email. I'm going to send you a text, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So that's how I do it.
It's all right here, just so it helps you do that. It's like, great, this is all I need to get you set up. And I just always say, like, where would you like to have your program shipped to? It's a very classy way of finding out their billing address and their address. What card do they want it on? That's simple and easy too. And the only thing you need to do that is an email and a phone number if you don't already have it. If you already have their phone number.
You already have the phone number because you're talking, right? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I don't know.
You might be Zooming. Anyways,
I don't know.
You grab that and you facilitate the order. Trust me, guys.
It's 8:01.
Yeah, no, we're just finishing up.
Oh, okay.
So many people will give in to saying oh, can I order it myself? Don't be a Nazi if they really, really want to do it. But honestly, there's so much work. Almost every time they do it, they mess up their free meals or they mess up something. You're going to spend hours trying to figure it out.
Talgo, you could if you want to, but if you want me just to knock it out and make sure you get your free week of food and your free shipping, I can just put it in right now. You don't need to worry about it. But I'll show you how to put the next one in. And they're like, oh, okay.
Perfect. And then the last piece on this, and that's where it goes back to step number 3 on here, is asking these things. So after we've got that set up, I just let them know what to expect next. Great. all right, so your stuff's on your way. Depending on where they're at, it'll be there in about a week. This is a great chance to get everything set up and like get your environment ready. Just as a heads up, like this is where I get these pieces in here. Like you're going to see success on this. I offer a $25 referral credit for everyone that you pass through to me because people are going to be noticing. And so let that know. And we also might talk about coaching down the line too. I just plant that seed down there. Like no big deal. I don't spend any more time on it, but I'm planting that early based on our conversations. And I let them know that they're going to be doing great on plan of how this is going to work. And then I explain what's next. The last thing here is key because does anyone ever feel like they're chasing their clients, trying to teach them and they're not listening? Well, usually it's because we haven't explained how it's going to go. So when their order will arrive, tell them to check their email. They're going to get a welcome email from Optavia. And then check out the support page. Someone's unmuted, but it's not showing up. Here it is. Check the support page. You'll be tagging them in there. And that this whole week is about getting set up for success.
Oh, yeah. You wanted me to
talk
about this next part.
Let me know when your program, this is so
By
key.
the way, timing's really, 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 really important to me. So I want to apologize that it's going over an hour. We'll get that cleaned up.
Get that cleaned
Not
up.
bad.
This is good. Is this good information for you guys? Is this good? Then the last thing, this is so key. Let them know when your program arrives so you can pick a start day and connect before they get started. That is super, super key. So it's on them. You made it simple. You put your safe hold in there and they're going to contact you to get started. So as we wrap up here today, we always start people with the variety pack. And there's a bunch of quick reasons for this.
As long as they don't have some kind of allergy that would prevent that.
Yeah. Or if they strongly are insisting like on this, but like feel free, you're the guy to let them know. And the reason why we do this is one, it keeps it simple and duplicatable. And so when they say that they're ready to go focus on health, we don't start taking their mind into food land. So they start like thinking about food, about $12, $13 a day. If they really, really want to like customize some things or they know about their friends' favorite stuff, it's like, great, you can customize up to 5. Is there 5 specific ones that you'd really like to get? And then also I let them know, I'm like, that's a
good way to put it.
This is about practice. Your first month, you're going to be getting into routine. This is what this is all about. So you're going to figure out your favorites. You're going to figure out your not favorites. That's what we're going to be doing. And that way I'm letting them know it's not about perfection. I'm starting to ease that in from the very beginning about learning and practicing. And then lastly, it includes their program and habits of health system. And it's super easy. And that's how it goes. We'll get into all this later, but this is the different plans that we offer so we can do that. Ashley, you want to just finish it up by saying like what you do once like you place their order and then what do you do?
Sure. So I put in their order. Optavia sends them the welcome email. If you have been doing coaching for a while, you may remember we used to send the welcome email directly. Optavia takes care of it now, so you don't need to do anything on that. Add them to your Facebook support group and welcome them with a personalized message. And I really recommend when you welcome somebody, I recommend that you go find a really nice picture of them, a very flattering picture on Facebook. It's usually in their profile picture. And then save that picture into your phone and open it into this app called WordSwag. Right here, WordSwag. And make a really nice welcome message into that. And then hang on, can you go back? Oh yeah, here's the example. You're gonna see Sarah Graves did this with her client Erica Brown. Isn't that a nice picture? Isn't that so cute with welcome to Optavia and a nice message? Hey, well, help me welcome Erica Brown, tagged her in it. She's joining us. And I love what she wrote. Okay, so that's how I recommend. I think it's a really classy way. And the more we start, like, we are starting some people like into our community that have the way that social media is going so quickly is aesthetics are actually really important. So if you take the 2 minutes to introduce them into the group like this, one, you're setting an aesthetic tone for your group, so it's actually really attractive, and it makes them feel really good. So anyways, I think it actually assists a lot, especially too, if you've got people where it's like, you're in that weird spot where you're like, it's a family member or somebody who's like really close to you. I feel like when you do this, it's just adding to that tone of professionalism, and they see you not just as the little sister or the daughter. It really helps them see you as like truly the professional that you are.
Someone asked, do people get upset with taking their photo off Facebook?
I've never had someone upset in 9 years.
I mean, that would be like a big that would give you a lot of information about that.
I don't think so. Unless they said otherwise. I can't imagine that being the case. What if they're really, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you guys are throwing things at me that I've never seen in 9 years. I say err on the side of confidence, that this is like, you see them as so beautiful. You know who they are. Like, don't feed into that energy. See them for how beautiful they are.
Sorry that we were over today, because this is finishing on time is super key. But I want to share this with you. You guys are the guide.
Right.
Your posture, your confidence, your investing in them shows them everything. So, like, if you have these concepts, you're gonna project these concepts. Yes. And maybe 1 in a million might throw a fit, and it's like, wow, thanks for letting me know where you're at. But again, also, if you're explaining the Facebook community, maybe even let them know, like, I'm going to welcome you in there. I'm going to give you a really nice, big, warm welcome. I'm super excited. If you're so relational about that, like, how could, like, I would feel flattered that someone took the time to do something like that for me, especially if you're layering how safe this client support page is and how it's a private group. Does that make sense? So, again,
like, like, I don't know how to, I've never had this happen. So, it's not saying it could never happen. I'm not saying that. But err on the side of confidence in their beauty. If you see them as beautiful for who they are, that's the point. So if you don't do something. Okay, so I have a relative who did ask me on the front end, like, hey, let's keep this between us. I asked her right then and there, do you want me to introduce you into the group? That particular time, she's like, it's all good. Don't worry about it. But I want her to know that, that's part of my system. Okay. So no big deal. I was like, all right, no big deal. But
again, back to, you have the results. You are the guy. You're not the boss, but like, they came to you to change their health. And if last I checked, when I wanted someone to help me with something, I didn't boss them around on how to do it.
That's so true.
Just letting you guys know, like, that's probably the number one thing about this training is be the guide and be bold. Don't let it, you have the goods. You really, really do. And so when you're confident, it'll give them confidence to follow the path and let you guide them, especially if you have made it really known that you are focused on them. Does that make sense, you guys? Is this good? Is this good?
Great.
And that's why also, if you choose like their profile picture, by the way, that's another thing. If it's their profile picture.
It's their profile picture. They're the one that posted it. It's public.
Yeah.
You guys are cracking me up.
Yeah,
okay, so anyways, I think we get the point here, okay? We get the point. Like, just like, service first always, no matter what. I hope that gets across.
All right, so to wrap up here, the last thing you do, they've got the
if you don't have, if you have an Android and for some reason they don't have word swag, use the app called Over. That's a good one.
All right, so to wrap up here, the welcome email comes from Optavia. You're going to send them, you're going to welcome them to the page, place their order, grab that health assessment, put it right on top of your first page in your binder. So when you open it up, there's your client that's about ready to get started. So they're staring you in the face when you go to do your check-in day. So really quick.
You don't need to, someone said they feel bad for asking the questions. Don't feel bad because
no, thank you.
No. You're safe. You're safe. Like, if you asked it, someone else was thinking it.
There are no dumb questions in here. We are all getting better.
No. That's exactly it. Like, your vulnerability to ask is opening up freedom for others. Like, do not feel bad. Like, you guys, you're safe with us. We don't, it's a good point of teaching.
All right, so the last thing
I don't know the Android alternative. So if you have an Android and you know what it is, somebody said Snapseed, try over. I don't know, but I have no idea.
Perfect. So the last thing is here is there's daily support messages. The one thing is go grab that text, send that to them so they know that they're welcomed and get them going on their journey. That's it. Then they're done and you're good to go. And you've integrated them really well from the start. They know that this is a practice. They're very excited and they know that they can lean on you for the guidance and support.
I love the text. I was resistant and hesitant at first because I was like, that feels like one more thing. No.
So easy.
It's so easy and so worth it. The integration is so much faster.
If you're not using the text yet, that's okay, because we're still guiding people through program, but I would encourage you through this month, start playing it out. Like I have it saved on the home screen of my phone and I have it open and saved as a web page in my browser. So I just go to it.
Sorry it went long, guys. That was a lot of information.
Yeah.
I hope you found value. I hope it was worth it.
Yep. You guys good?
Anyone have an easy way to put reminders in their phone to send text? I put it all in my calendar. So I list them out like in my iCal. That's how I do it.
All right,
and I
guys,
say what day they're on.
That is week number 3.
April's going to be talking about layering and follow-ups. So what April will explain when she talks on this is going to be like, we say, oh, follow-up Friday. And I'm one of those people where my initial, I'm like, well, what do you do? And April will be covering that when she talks.
Yep, so we will highlight her next week on that. You guys, everyone, great questions today.
Such good questions.
Sorry we went a little bit long, but that's why we want to spend so much time, because to answer your question about integrating clients and integrated coaches, I think everyone gets now where it starts. And now that you know this is a foundation of great things to come. So I just want to congratulate every single person on here. This is what to do this week. Keep it simple, keep solidifying your structure, and focus on what your business needs next. If you are past your initial weight loss, this is one thing we didn't get to talk about. If you're past your initial weight loss, I highly encourage you to be using one of our different plans, like 4, 2, and 1, for past weight loss, or 3 and 3, so you can use that example for other people, so you can speak to that. Follow up well this week. Place it in your schedule and practice it. We will talk more about that next week. And lastly, a little plug for what people do the best in the middle of the month. Connect with your support team, assess your business, and where you want to end up by the 28th of February, because we have a few less days this month, but you can do more in February with less days if you're doing the steps. So, guys, congratulations on everything. Love the questions. Let's go take on the week. Congratulations.
Hang on, I want to make sure. Yeah. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Oh, I just, I like to try to stay on time.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Cool. I think we're good. I hope that helped. I hope that you're having fun with this, because it's actually very fun. And we definitely take our job seriously, and by serious, it doesn't mean that we aren't having fun.
Yep.
So I hope that it's actually really like my job. I have a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys do too.
All right, everyone. You're doing amazing. I'm just watching you guys on social media sharing. The numbers prove it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep staying consistent. Put this into your flow. Next week, we're going to hit on supporting clients well and follow up like a champ. Congratulations on being consistent. Go make it a great week, everyone.
Yeah. Go make it a great week.
Thanks, Brad and Ashley.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks, guys. You did awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. You guys are great.
Thank you,
Hey,
guys.
Ashley, maybe next time you could have a little more fun with us.
I really need to lighten up.
And you know what? I know we're all everyone's logging off. You guys are a great example of this. You guys are keeping it fun, and that's why you're doing so well. Keep it fun, keep it flowing. Structure helps you have more fun.
Yes.
Yep.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
Great questions this week. You guys are becoming pros, and that's how we all learn. And I really appreciate that, Joanne. There are no bad questions in here. If you're thinking it, someone else is too.
Yep.
And that's how we all learn.
Thank you for keeping us so motivated.
Oh, that's so nice. Your goals are motivating you. You're the one showing up.
No, but you guys are doing such a good job presenting it and making us go out there even working harder.
Yeah, lives are changing. Lives are changing, my friends. All right, have a great week, great weekend.
Guys, happy birthday, Ashley.
Thank you. Thank you.